getting back to the gym after a long COVID hibernation. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley with the Toronto Sun. If you're like me, you probably haven't been working out as much as you used to, if you ever did at all. Now, last year, I wasn't interested in going back to the gym. Too many restrictions, too many mask mandates, things that just didn't make working out all that comfortable. But now that we're opening back up, I'm pumped and ready to go. But how do you do it without injuring yourself? I want to bring in a friend of mine who knows all about doing that. Tony Greco is a personal trainer, longtime fitness advocate who knows a thing or two about that. Tony, thanks for the time today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So what would you say in terms of advice for getting people back to the gym, people who have either not done as much or not done anything over the last little while? How do you work your way back into getting physically fit, getting physically active?
Yeah, well, I would tell everybody, have a plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And I mean, depending on your fitness regime pre and during COVID, some people I know that were very active, some people weren't very active. So it's always great to do a self checklist, meaning on a scale of 1 to 10, have I recovered properly? Am I sleeping great at night? Am I hydrating? Am I working out? And as you know, some people were active, some people were not. But what I could recommend is, number one, is do only about 30 minutes of steady pace, working out as far as cardiovascular goes. That could mean walking, which will regulate your heart rate. Number two is, even if you're on a Stairmaster or a treadmill, don't go full out. Just go like half of the percentage that you normally will. And if you feel great, that's a good win. So you can check that off. Then also your weights, when you're pushing resistance, dumbbells, if you were doing, let's say, 50 pounds, drop it in half and take your time. And if you feel great, boom, check that off. That's a good win. Make sure you hydrate, make sure you recuperate, and the next day, you really shouldn't be feeling it that much, which is going to give you a great incentive to go, yes, that's a big win. Now I can go and do my other exercise the next day and get back to my regime. So you have to ease into it slowly. And even if you're a person that's been active too, because it's never the same until you adapt to that atmosphere that you normally were, 3-4 months ago.
Speaking with Tony Greco, he's a personal trainer. He's a guy who has helped elite athletes, Claude Giroux from the Philadelphia Flyers, Carrie Underwood, the country singer, credits him with getting her legs in shape. I remember being in your gym and those rather attractive posters being on the wall showing off your product. You work with elite athletes now, first-round draft picks in the NHL, prospects. So and despite that, you're telling the regular folks like me, who are not to be overly competitive. How do you know when you're ready to go to the next level, though? When you, let's say I follow your advice, I go slow, I just do the 30 minutes, I just lift light weights. When do I know that I'm ready to say, all right, step it up a notch?
Well, it usually takes about 3 weeks before, again, everything adapts to the experience, we'll call it. So what happens is that if you train in a block for 2 weeks where you take it slow, you resist that force from the weights, you're getting your heart rate up with the cardiovascular aspect. Now what happens is every single organism in your body, from your brain to your cells to your liver, get adapted to that adaptation of movement. So if you're doing a military press so slow for 2 weeks on the way down and pushing it up, your brain gets used to that. So then what happens is you're creating more deep tissue. It sounds gross, but what you're doing during this process is you're ripping tissue, now it becomes thicker. And because it becomes thicker, when you go 2 weeks after that and you go into your holding position and push it, you could resist more force. So it's all about resisting force to generate power. And that's how you feel stronger. So naturally, after 3 weeks, you're going, wow, this feels really good.
All right, Tony, thanks for all the wonderful advice. Stay well, and I would tell you to keep fit, but, looking at you, that ain't an issue for you right now. Thanks so much, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I've made it my life, and thank you so much for sharing the progress with others.
All right, let us know what you think. Drop a line down below and enjoy your time at the gym.